Good evening and welcome to bearwithodeathlist.co.uk's review of the demo of the PC version of The Darkness 2. Being a huge fan of the comic and having been denied the joy of playing the first game due to the fact that it was never released for the PC, I was overjoyed to hear that Part 2 would in fact see a PC release, and here it is. Now, is it any good?
My father once told me, you can't outrun your fate, but you sure as hell gotta try.
Well, that opening statement was kind of odd, considering that Jackie's father died at the moment of Jackie's conception. But he did run into his father's ghost at one time in the comics, so maybe this is from the first game. In any case, as soon as the opening cutscene starts to play, you know that this game is on the right track. Oh, that's right, this game starts off with Jackie Estacado being crucified with fucking railroad spikes. I mean, come on, how awesome is that? So yes, this game definitely starts off the right way. It manages to capture that gritty, dark atmosphere of the Darkness franchise, so far it looks good. Also, the lead villain over here who's trying to talk to you at the beginning seems interesting. He quite apparently knows exactly what the Darkness is. He basically feels like the character of Sonatine from the comic. He doesn't look anything like him, he's probably not Sonatine, but he definitely feels the same role as Sonatine. Yeah, quite clearly as he gets in your face and tells you exactly what he wants. This guy wants to take the power of the Darkness away from you. He's got you captured, he's got you fucking crucified, and now he's going to torture you until you are willing to give up the power of the Darkness and hand it over to him on a silver platter. Now after a short loading screen, there's a flashback of you in a restaurant being led through the restaurant by your henchman Vinny. So basically, what you're witnessing here is just an average evening in the life of Jackie Estacado, the mafia boss. However, if you pay attention to the way Jackie talks throughout this sequence, then you'll see that he's not particularly happy. And that is something you would expect if you read the comics. So far, the game definitely looks true to the Darkness franchise. And then you sit down by this table by a pair of twins who might remind you of a certain pair of celebrities who recently made an appearance in Duke Nukem Forever. And just like in Duke Nukem Forever, these two chicks end up pretty fucking dead. Okay, so that's how the demo starts off here. There's a lot of cutscene at the beginning, but that's all well and good. These cutscenes set the mood for the game pretty damn well. Now this is where the actual game begins. You're in the flaming remains of the restaurant and your henchman Vinny gives you a gun and tries to drag your wounded carcass out of the restaurant. So this is the first section of the tutorial where you learn how to aim with the mouse and shoot with the left mouse button. If you've ever played a first-person shooter, then this shouldn't be any problem for you. The only thing you need to keep in mind that it's worthwhile to bother to actually aim with the gun, as in aim for the head. Oh yes, works very well. So this tutorial section goes on for a while, but eventually you get to the point where you're finally able to unleash the power of the dark. And when that happens, you grow a pair of demonic tentacles with some pretty nice looking demon heads at the end of each tentacle. And they just go apeshit on the guys that have been trying to kill you. And right here, you get to see just how gruesome this game is. Look at that, look at all that violence, look at all that gruesome shit, all that blood. This game as you can tell from this cutscene, really manages to capture the very essence of the Darkness franchise, or that over-the-top violence and over-the-top humor. So far, I like what I see. Now here you get to witness one of the most rewarding gameplay elements, the executions. You can grab unsuspecting enemies and then brutally execute them with those tentacles. Furthermore, if they are aware of you, you can just grab an object, throw it at them, and then you can grab and execute them. You can also grab on to weapons with your tentacles, and then you can use the guns on the enemies. So if you want to shoot guns, you can shoot guns, that's fine. You can also grab sharp objects and impale your enemies with them, which is a lot of fun. Or you can grab corridors and either use them as a shield or just cut some enemies in half with them. Or you can just grab another gun and just keep shooting the enemies. But trust me when I say that using the tentacles to grab and then execute the enemies is very satisfying to watch. Seriously, those over-the-top executions really capture the essence of this franchise. All this over-the-top violence and all the dark humor that they put into it just simply never gets old. If you've read the comic, this is a part that you have certainly been waiting for. This is where the Darkling debuts in the game, and the Darklings are one of the most entertaining part about the Darkness comics. So, surely if you're a fan of the comics, you were waiting for this. Now, this particular Darkling that you see here is especially entertaining because, come on, just look at the guy. Dressed in the British flag with a British accent. Well, okay, he obviously doesn't have the manners of a Briton, but still, he's very entertaining and he's very helpful.
Thought you forget that already. Come on then, let's move.
One of the first things he does for you in the game is he leads you to a Darkness Shrine where you can upgrade your abilities. Now, the Darkness power gives you a wide range of different kinds of abilities. You can increase your ammo capacity or unlock different kinds of executions such as health or hitman executions or other different kinds of abilities. Also, you gain the power to eat hearts, which essentially is the ability to regain your health. So whenever your health is low, just keep an eye out for the corpses of your enemies and make sure to let those darkness tentacles eat the hearts of your enemies. As for the Darkling, as I've said, he's very helpful, and he'll do whatever you tell him, no questions asked. And the gameplay itself is quite a lot of fun. The gunplay is quite entertaining, but using the Darkness powers is really the best part of this game. Grabbing hold of these unsuspecting enemies and then brutally executing them in a large variety of different ways is just so over the top, so hilarious, it never gets old. The Darkling is also a lot of fun. Often he makes some witty comments about the executions. He's very helpful. Whenever he attacks an enemy, you can just shoot the enemy and then you get the Darkling assist bonus for that. So yeah, this game seems like quite a lot of fun so far. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of this in the full game, but for the time being, it's a lot of fun. One thing to keep in mind, as you will see very shortly, the Darkness, if you've read the comics you know this, does not function in the light. So whenever you get near a strong light source, you have to find that light source and use your guns to destroy that light source. Now this is something that adds a bit of a puzzle element to the game. So if you want to be able to keep using the Darkness powers in well-lit areas, then first you need to get rid of those lights with the help of your weapons. So even if you want to rely on the Darkness power, throughout the game for the most part, it's a good idea to stock up on some ammunition. Now once you manage to unlock the so-called Hitman executions, it's a good idea to start using it if you want to be able to use guns a lot, especially if you want to use the shotgun. Hitman executions give you additional ammunition whenever you use those to execute enemies. And if you want to use the shotgun, which is a lot of fun to use in this game, then it's a good idea to combine that with these Hitman executions, because in my experience, at least in the demo, ammo for the shotgun is relatively sparse. So it's definitely a good idea to combine it with Hitman executions. The other type of executions that you can unlock in this demo version are the so-called health executions. That's pretty straightforward. Whenever you execute an enemy with one of those, you get some of your lost health back. So that's very helpful. And as I said, the executions are just so over the top, they are unbelievably hilarious. So that's basically all you get in this demo version of The Darkness 2, and what can I say? I like it so far. There's a very nice sequence at the end of it, which also captures the essence of the Darkness franchise, or that over-the-top gruesome violence and all the dark humor that has always been a part of the comic from the very first issue. So this sequence is a lot of fun to watch. The entire demo has been a very positive experience for me. As a fan of this franchise, I am really looking forward to this game. I very much hope that what we have seen in this demo is representative of the full game, and that the full game is basically more of the same but better, as a certain internet reviewer would like to say, I'm sure. So I am looking forward to the day when The Darkness 2 gets released in the middle of February. And I'm also interested just simply in seeing how this story gets to play out. I'm curious about the lead villain, this guy who basically fills the role of Symmetry from the comic books. So I am curious about the guy. I'm curious about the story. I am looking forward to this game, and once it gets here, you can expect to see a review of the full game on darewithadeathlist.co.uk sometime in February. Until then, grab the demo from Steam and have a good time with it. Stay tuned.